Alright, good day everyone, it's Gareth again for Whatchamacallit Gaming, and we're continuing our Captains of Industries playthrough. Now the aim for this one is to get these research stations upgraded. It'll take a little while because we don't have enough construction parts. Well, actually we do, we're 818 and we need 68 for each one. Glass, not a problem. Resources, research equipment is being produced, and we're cheating it. Let me just check here. What other problems we're having? I'll let the game run because it's not a problem. We're still continuing with building up our servers. We're having a steam problem, but that's more of a case of the power plants aren't required. It also could be that we're interrupting steam flow because I'm pumping in extra here through this pipe. Steam low. Okay, so it is this low pressure steam. This is steam, right? No, this is ammonia. Oops. Then that's steam and that's steam. Wasn't I pumping the other high pressure steam here? Have I made a mistake? Oh, yes I did. Yes, I did. No wonder it's having so much problems. I'm pumping high pressure steam into a low pressure system. If this was real life, this pipe would have exploded all along its length. It would have just a boom, 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 boom. And that would have been the end of it. Literally. That would have just been it. I didn't even check if that was a high or low pressure steam system. That is a high pressure steam system. Okay. Okay, there's the pipe. I lost it. Oops. It needs to go from here, go down. It needs to connect there. Okay, we'll quick deliver, so it's not a problem. And that should be high pressure to high pressure, and that will take away the problem. Yeah. Because in real life, a low pressure steam system doesn't need as much structural integrity as a high pressure steam system. Though I think sometimes, just for simplicity of supply, they would probably just use the same type of pipes. If you don't have to mount it high, because obviously mounting a thick, heavy pipe high is way harder than mounting a thin, light pipe high. But yeah. Okay. Now the primary objective to getting our research systems up and running here. It'll just take a little while. We just gotta wait for this to pile up, but it looks like it's done. Starting stockpiling. What are you waiting for? Okay, well, oh, I need to wait for it to stockpile. Because it's not stockpiled yet. Oh, that's enough. Okay, it had not stockpiled yet at that time. But yeah, the aim for the research is I would like to at least finish getting our warship production setup done. Wow, quad guns. Yeah. So I can actually start exploring the map, because really I have explored quite a lot. I'd like to finish it and see where all the other resources are hiding. And whether we, if there's additional resources. Primarily I'm actually looking for sand, oddly enough. Because copper we're still good, limestone we've barely touched, but at the rate I'm going, I'm either going to have to stop mining sand here and pick another location that I'm not using for construction. Also coal, but we've already got a coal mine, it's right there. The other hiccup will be, where do I ship the coal? I could probably reconfigure this one, but I would actually prefer to keep cargo ships bringing one type of resource each time so I can have a lot of it. But we'll have to see how that goes. Okay, let me add some servers here. Not going to make up what we need. No, it is. Look out. Oh, we've got 120 out of 140, yeah, because we've got all these systems running, but it's not a problem. The system is making more. I'll just leave it like that so I know what the max requirement is, and then when it's ready, we'll go. Yeah, right now it's just a case of finishing up. Why? Oh, that one's finished. This one is... Current research is too advanced for the lab. Yes, that makes sense, because we need these labs. Though, I really hope... it looks like it pivots, though right now they're spying on one another. So, you know, oops. But are these working? Yes, they are. It's just taking a wee while. By the way, 48, 30. Okay, it looks like it needs way more researchers. I want to upgrade all of these to manufacture, you know, all these to robotic assembly systems, but I'm not doing that at the moment. Because I simply don't have the processing capability to get away with it. Okay, what else do we need to do? Because that'll just, as it goes, it'll get done. So what other streams? Okay, we still need to deal with pollution, but are we dealing with pollution? Yes, we are dumping the carbon dioxide here, so we are making medical supplies, we're making bacteria, we are shipping it as needed. Okay, and I've set cheats on one of the food supplies? Yes, I have. Okay, that's working. That's empty. Okay, so we don't have any household goods, but are we making household goods? We are, but slowly. It's just slow. It's not that we don't have enough, it's just slow. And I've got too many trucks to deliver. So it's not a problem that we don't have the resources to deliver. It's just that I just don't have enough trucks left. So let's target that as our next research, because there is another truck here. So we'll go for this one next. Then we want the bigger docks. We want upgraded microchip production. Many layers each to be placed. Nanometer precision, the performance specialized. Okay. May read that at a later date. And we'll upgrade our furnaces. We want CO2 recycling because we want to try and clean up waste. So that's what we should get to. And then we want... Okay, we want upgraded solar panels. Can we... I wonder if it'll let me upgrade existing solar panels or not. I don't know. I hope it does. But generally, once you've manufactured a type of solar panel, the only way to upgrade it is to strip what you have. And then all of this will get recycled, and then the next group of solar panels we'll use to replace it. We'll see what we want to do. Okay, the next thing we want to do... Well, actually, we really need to get the research done. So in the meantime, let's send this ship out. It can conquer... What are you? Another uranium mine. It can go conquer that for me. Or it'll get damaged enough it'll have to retreat. Right now, it's once again, we're running into server problems. But unfortunately, each server only adds 1 teraflop of processing capability, so it'll take quite a while to get back up to where we were. Okay. So what we're just going to do temporarily, just going to pause these 2 lines, because I need at least 1 line to be operational. Okay, let's pause some more. Because we have to have 1 line of microprocessors working or we're in big trouble. Microprocessing production working or we're in really big trouble. The reason earlier it showed less teraflops is all these machines had stockpiled. So until they actually kicked on, they don't use that processing capability. It's one of the balancing acts with this game is you will have some equipment off, some equipment on, and unlike say Satisfactory where it's just a resource problem, here, because they've added this computer processing requirement for more advanced equipment. Does this actually need teraflops? Yes, this is also where I'm running into trouble. I didn't realize the research center also requires a computer, which makes perfect sense in the long run. Oh, we're getting our asses handed to us. Yeah, that was a total failure. Okay. 990 defensive capability. Yes. Oops. Okay, so this is also where our problem is coming in, but that's fine. As long as we are making some microchips, we don't have a problem. We'll keep stockpiling as we need. There, most of the systems are running. It's fine, we can cancel that. Yeah, basically everything's running. We're just waiting to get to the next bit. Because last episode, 90% of what we needed to do was done. Let me just check here. Is there anything else we need to manufacture right off? It's just the carbon, right? Carbon dioxide recycling, which we haven't unlocked yet. Graphite, GR, but okay, let's take a look at that. Okay, it's just that to carbon dioxide to that, alright? Now, to make CO2, how do we wash it? Okay, we can turn it into a chemical plant, hydrogen and carbon dioxide into fuel gas. I must remember that one, because we could have been doing that to recycle our waste product. And make more fuel gas. That would have been nice. But here's what we want. Exhaust scrubber. It's water, it's sulfur, gives carbon dioxide and low steam. Steam we can blow off. Air pollution is a problem. But it's not a bad problem. Because you see, our biggest hiccup at the moment is these facilities. This one is making carbon, so that can be fed into the system after we build it. But all of these are making exhaust. And this is a lot. Each one of these is 10. total. So every 2 is 10. So it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 units of pollution is being produced by this section of factories alone. And then how much are these? Because these are still linked individually. Oops, no. 12. So, and of course, like in most cities, our industrial era, sorry, today my pronunciation is terrible, is relatively close to our production center. So let's get things set up. Now I'd like to build it here because we've got this big square spot and it's close to our production center. So first we want an exhaust scrubber. We want multiple exhaust scrubbers because yes. And then we're going to want that carbon monoxide producer. We're going to cheat the water. Sulfur, we should have plenty, but the biggest oh, our trucks have gone to stable. Okay, that's surprising. We should have quite a bit of sulfur somewhere here. Ah, no we don't. Okay, there was another location closer we were making sulfur, wasn't there? I think we were making it, yeah, right here. But this is more of a sulfur recycling than an actual sulfur production. Yeah, because we're basically recycling waste material here into water, which is being pumped back into the system, and then ammonia and sulfur, which we're pumping out. Are we pumping this out? Yes, we are. So these are just stockpiling resources. Okay. Let's just pause and get started. How do we want to do this? Because we're going to take the material from this side. We're going to pull it forward a bit because I want a little room to work. So. Now I need to leave a little room because we're going to have sulfur is going to come in this side. CO2 is going to be... Oh no, this is going out. It's not going in. Okay, then that'll be fine. Wait, is it actually coming out? Oh, it is. Okay, it's producing sulfur. So it takes exhaust gas and water and it produces sulfur, carbon dioxide, and steam. Okay. My misunderstanding. So it takes two products, makes one product. Fair enough. Okay. Sorry, I have misread. I assumed it was producing sulfur, or required sulfur to filter the water for whatever reason. But then again, what would you use sulfur for filtering? I know it's used in most chemical productions, but it's not really used as a filtering agent. I'm just going big with this system because, well, how much does it actually process? 30. And we have 90, so we technically only need 3 of those, but I want to go big anyway because I'm going to fit a single pipe to deliver all this stuff here, and I'd rather we just pump it all out. Okay, now water supply, we'll just cheat because I don't need my trucks jammed up any more than they currently are. So let's start running pipes. We can't actually run this system as is, we'll just stockpile the sulfur. At least I think we can stockpile the sulfur. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't actually know. I think we can. I can't remember if we can or... Ah, come on. Sorry, I clicked in the wrong spot. I'm hoping... But sulfur's a gas. Well, we could store... Sorry, CO2 treats as a gas, and we can store other gases in tanks, so I'm assuming we can store... Let's do it this way. Sorry, just auto-saved. Off, B. Okay. Now, let's just, because this stuff, I'll just pump into the, I'll run this length into the secondary pipe, because we don't need it. This is also producing exhaust. So this will be piped this way. Okay, let's actually take advantage of this. I don't know if adding the extra piping is going to help. I'm assuming it's so you can feed multiple systems from different directions. rather than that, because the piping, total piping capacity in this game is based on total length of pipe from what I've seen so far. So if you have a very long stretch of pipe, then you're able to... Right, we'll just remove the stovepipes. But I'll remove that later once everything is built. And hopefully we can then deal with all waste products, which would be nice. I mean, I've had access to atmospheric scrubbers already, I just haven't thought to use them, if you will. What we'll do is we'll run the sulfur tank this way. We'll dump it here. We'll run the carbon monoxide tank. Yeah, I think we can actually fit things here, and we can just build it next to this highway, and the trucks can come this way across. That's something I'd like to see later on in this game, because as you can see, the trucks wear themselves a path. If we can't, say, maybe build dedicated roads, so we can streamline where we want these vehicles to go. I know, technically that is way beyond me, and I'll never achieve it, but it would be interesting. That's too high. I want to run it here, level 2. Okay, this pipe is going to have to go over. Yeah, some of these pipes are going to be a bit tight because of the way I built these facilities, but there's nothing I can do about that. I'm not going to dismantle my entire smelting setup just because I made a pipe in the wrong place. Okay, where did I leave gap? Because I know I left gap there, I left gap there, but am I going there? Yes, I am. Can we pass through here? No. No, I want to run this direct. I don't want to join the existing pipeline I've just built, because I want to run this way in. Oops. Okay, so it won't let me do this, yeah. As per usual, this is going to look downright terrible. Okay, like something like that. And then we'll run the carbon monoxide pipe. Because, yeah, we're going to need a carbon monoxide pipe here. Actually, no. If it'll let me run it like this, then I'll be more than happy to run it like this. Can we run it this way somehow? Not really. What about further on? Yeah, okay, we're not actually going to be using the water supply, so it's fine. Yeah, things are getting a wee bit cramped here. It's going to look downright ridiculous. Okay, let's run this pipe here for now. We'll leave it at height 2. Okay, that's additional carbon monoxide output. Okay. Alright, so we've got water. We've run our exhaust. We've got the first stage carbon monoxide because we want the output here. Now, let's construct... You would think after playing this game for like 109 hours, which is not actually that long compared to how some people have played games, because I've seen some of the YouTubers who actually play a single game type for like 10,000 hours, and those people are impressive. I will tell you this right now. To me, those people are very, very impressive. Now, why do I see them as impressive? They can actually keep themselves occupied on a single game for that long. I'm sorry, my patience for games is not anywhere near that good. It well and truly isn't. Can I not join here? I guess side effect of having it too far apart. Let me join? No. Yeah, this is not very well planned out. You would think it would be by now. I would have actually figured out how to play this game. Answer your question, no. I most certainly have not. Okay, so we're going to have a lot of sulfur. We don't even need a sulfur mine. Unless we really went total ham on production of sulfur, we don't need the mine, because this will basically, as long as we feed it materials, provide us an unlimited supply of sulfur. This system is recycling constantly, so it's providing us unlimited sulfur. And then we're producing sulfur here. I guess if you set your system up, you really don't need offshore mining operations except for very specific productions. Whoops, sorry if I'm making you dizzy. Also, oh yes, I put in the last episode in the description the War Factory's YouTube address so you could easily find it. I'm sorry I didn't mention that in the last video, but I wasn't actually sure how you were supposed to do that. I didn't think it would be so stupidly simple as just copy and paste the address in the description of the YouTube video. I honestly didn't think it would be that simple. I'm afraid I've noticed with Earth human technology in particular, it's either so stupidly simple everyone assumes you know how to do it, so there's no instructions, and everybody just assumes that's how you're supposed to do it and assumes everybody knows that's how you're supposed to do it, or it is so insanely complicated to do a simple thing, you need a 500-page manual to do it. So if anyone in the world ever comes across a piece of technology that's easy to use and does what it's supposed to do, there's a 99.99% probability that that's alien technology, because there's no way any human engineer would design something that is simple to operate and does what it's supposed to do. Never. Never, ever, ever, ever will you ever come across a piece of technology like that, as far as I'm concerned. So if you do come across something that's easy to use and does what it's supposed to do, it's alien technology, not human. Okay, let's just run the pipes like this, and then I can skip those other. These are going to have to be pretty big storage tanks, because I really don't want this system to shut down for whatever reason. Okay, now how do I want to feed this? Okay, let's also feed it. Let's feed it this way, this way, this way. Chunk. And that way guarantees no matter how much, steam is 20, this should be 200. It's not going to be a big problem. But just in case of, I'm overcompensating on this one. Now then, waste tanks, storage tanks. Put down one and just see, can we store? Yes, we can store carbon dioxide in these tanks. Hallelujah. Sorry. I haven't actually tried some of these resources, as you saw with the radioactive waste. Technically, you can store it in a storage building. The game doesn't let you, so there's that. Alright, I want to run this pipe to the end. And then once we unlock the technology, I screwed that one up. How is it with pipes I actually get a neat effect, but when it comes to conveyor belts, it's always a freaking disaster. Okay. Storage of material, check. Storage of waste, check. Is that all we need for this thing? It looks like it. Oh, there's air pollution. I'm assuming that comes out of the central smokestack, and there's nothing we can do about it. Let's get some of these pipes at least built. Okay, that's the long pipe built. I'm not going to remove the smokestacks yet, but I am going to... no, just give me this connector. I'm just going to run the connections. We can strip the smokestacks off once the whole system is operational. Okay, so it's really not happy with the way I do this. Fair enough. else here that's making waste? I don't think so. Oddly enough, production facilities don't make waste gas. Most production facilities do, but obviously they just wanted to simplify it, because if I had to run pipes for everything, it would be a disaster. Oh, did it ignore me? Yeah, it did. Okay. This thing is still bleeding out this way, but it's not a problem. It'll filter through in a minute. Right now this pipe isn't being... Oh, it is being used for something, but the gas is not going anywhere. Oh. Okay, that was way quicker than I was expecting. Oh, right. I forgot something. There's water supplies. Let's finish... Oh, no, we're... Okay, no, we can finish that one. Okay, that's fine. Because that's all we need is one. For waste storage. Okay, these smokestacks can go bye-bye. And I still gotta connect this section. I'll do so now. Let me just clear away these smokestacks. This should dramatically reduce the total amount of pollution I'm producing. Okay, where do you need to go and why are you... Oh, I'm not even going to bother with it. Where are you going? Oh. Yeah, you're not supposed to go there. The smaller trucks are supposed to go there. But it looks like I have screwed this up a bit. Okay, luckily it's... Oh. It's sort of easy to solve. I copy this structure and I dump it right there. Then we run, is this a flat conveyor belt? I'll just let it tell me what it needs. Run this here, run it there. Not a very elegant solution, I know, but it's fine. It puts it where the trucks can get at it. Problem solved. Alright, we need to do more. I would like to get this system back up. Tell me exactly how much you need for processing. I'm just going to add all the computers. We've got 100 and some odd. But it takes 20 to develop a server rack. So we're only at 130. And each time we need more systems, so... Ouch. Okay, that appears to be working. Let's run our connection points here. That's an interesting way of doing it, but if that's how you want to do it, piping, welcome to do so. Okay, that should be stockpiling, that should be recycling, that should be quite a lot of waste that we're now getting rid of. Okay, we need 32 teraflops of 48. It's jumped again. Okay. Well, we'll never totally satisfied, but I think that's working. Oh, excuse me. But that should have dramatically dropped up our pollution. Okay, not quite. We were at 19, it's dropped by 9. Because we weren't as terrible on the pollution as I feared, but that should still be a pretty decent drop. The drawback being, we still need to get our computer systems online here. I'm going to need these systems anyway. So I know our computer usage is going to be absolutely insane. Yeah, we're going to need a lot because each of these systems take 12 teraflops of processing, which is surprising. Mind you, teraflop is a lot. That's, I think, 1,000 terabytes per second, if memory serves. Is a teraflop? Now it's 81, so we're going to need more servers. We're going to need more server farms. Because I think all of these combined, I think it was 4 last time round that we saw, was just enough to run this. And we're not running this yet. Okay. What we're going to do, since these systems require such an enormous amount, we'll slow down our research. Speaking of, has our ship been fixed? It should be automatically repaired. It has. Is there a weaker target we can hit? Here, 610. That's weaker, we can hit that. I mean, we haven't even finished. Okay, which truck is stuck now? Lab equipment. Why on earth? Oh. How did even... I keep forgetting to change some of these settings. Unfortunately, I also think... yeah, this is full. It's just... It's not that we can't recycle the waste material. We can. It's just that iron recycling is 10 times what everything else is. So, we're recycling way more iron, raw iron, than we are any other material. And my current production center is just not built to handle it. But everything seems to be working without exhaust problems. And we are taking care. We haven't completely solved our pollution problem, but we're fairly good. Yeah, that's because I'm cheating one of the food sources, so they're getting plenty of vegetables, but everything else is empty. Let's see how we're doing. Oh goody, we'll win this one easy. Yeah, one of the games I'd like to try at some point, I haven't purchased it yet, so I can't, is, what's it? Hang on, let me just pause it and give you the correct name. It's Ultimate Admiral's Dreadnoughts, because I've always loved battleships. They're some of my most favorite technologies of ours. I know they're semi-obsolete. They are coming back with the invention of railguns, because a railgun, they're theorizing a max range of 600 nautical miles, which way outstrips most guided missile systems without... And quite frankly, a guided missile is 10 times more expensive, or even 100 times more expensive than a chunk of iron you just lob at your enemy. So what you'll probably find is future Dreadnought class warships or future warships will be multiple guns, deck guns, similar to this monstrosity of a ship we've built here, with a drone system and a radar system, and you send your drone out and you hope, and it stealth the drone so it doesn't get detected by enemies, and then when it'll tag your target, and you'll just sit there lobbing shells at it. And the beauty of railgun technology is its kinetic impact force, so no explosive ammunition, no explosive propellant-free ammunition is needed, and it's cheap. Once you sink your enemy ship, you rescue the survivors, place them in prisoners of war, following Geneva Conventions and full proper treatment of the POWs. Let's not have this stuff. It's bad enough with what's going on with Ukraine. Russia is trying to claim that it's doing the things, but both sides are not doing very well. I actually don't know. Let me not make an opinion here, because I honestly do not know. Half of it says the Russians are the most nightmarish thing, the other half says it's the Ukrainians that are the most nightmarish thing. Both sides say they're winning, both sides say they're losing or something is going wrong. I have no idea. There, the fog of war, from my perspective, is well and truly thick. I have looked at the YouTube channels, but you can't honestly tell. With YouTube, it is a multimedia platform. It is not the news. It's not certified to provide 100% truthful and accurate statements. It's whatever people create and put content on. So there's no guarantee that what I am watching on YouTube is accurate, is correct. And quite frankly, even our news agencies I take with a pinch of salt. Hopefully they have the correct information. But as with is the nature of modern warfare and modern life today, what's relevant now, 2 minutes later it's obsolete and incorrect. So let's not go there. Hopefully, I really would like this to be over. From my honest perception, I know we've way gone off track from railguns to war, but from my honest opinion, I just would like Russia to realize, the Russian people to realize that that was actually his Vladimir Putin's suggestion was very stupid, and they should just quit while they're ahead and before they suffer too many casualties. But I honestly don't know what's going on there. I'm going to leave it alone. But as for weapons development, the railgun, will admit I was a bit confused when the United States announced railgun development, because if I'm not mistaken, back in, was it the 70s or 80s, they did have a warship that was using a prototype railgun. Oh, crap. Excuse my language. Oh, damn it. Well, that sand mine is now officially... Okay, I'm not sure if this was part of an update and I missed it, or if it was something new, but yeah, my sand mine just flooded out. Or is it because of this? Is this where the problem is? Is it just too shallow here? Okay. Well. Nuts. No. How can I do this? Okay, what I want to do is put another one here. But I want a cap. And then I want to put another one here. And this one will be max fill. Then what we're going to do is put a U-shaped conveyor belt there. This conveyor belt will feed into here, and this one will feed into it. This one will feed straight to that. Now then, this is wrong. This is wrong. This is not going to work. I need a little bit more room. Okay, U-shaped conveyor belt. This one will feed there. This one will feed there. This one will feed there. It will prioritize that one. Okay, that'll do the job. It will prioritize taking sand from here, and then later on it will use. Okay, now, this is a problem. I think the hiccup came in here, the sand collapsed and it flooded, but we don't have a pump technology that I'm aware of. So, we're going to have to start a new mine over here, and we're going to have to bury that one. So, we'll start from here, and we'll go here, but I'm making this a bit wide, but yeah. No, digging. How do we want to run this? We want to probably run this here. So what we're going to do is we're going to flatten it to this side, flatten it to this side, and then we're going to... Is that the correct way of doing it? What is this angle? I can't see the angle. Okay, no. Take it off. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Let's flatten to 0 point this. Let's leave quite a large gap here. Oops, I clicked the wrong button. Cancel that one. Oh, come on. Okay, that has to be dragged and dropped. Alright. And then we'll start leveling off here. For sand extraction. Yeah, I need a sand mine. Weird as that sounds, I actually need a sand mine. As for this one, we're gonna have to start dumping resources back here. So I honestly don't know. We don't have a pump system. I think I could maybe put a fresh water pump here, because we do have those, but I don't honestly know if it will let me drain this location. It might work that way. I don't. As I said, I have no idea. I've never tried to drain an area. I've always had to empty them or bury them, but I've never actually had to drain them. So theoretically, we could put a freshwater pump here that we've got, because you do get that water pump. Actually, I'm going to try that quick. I'm just going to finish this because I just want to see if it'll let me install it. Let's put it that way. Okay, now we've got this set up here. Oh, of course, now you work. Okay, can we... Where is it? It's underwater. A seawater pump. Okay, it will let me place the... Or will it not? Because the ground terrain is too low. Okay, this terrain is too high. Sorry, I know you can't see anything because I put... Oh, there we go. Okay, so it would let me put a seawater pump here. So this is seawater. And I'm pretty sure it's coming in from here. But quite frankly, this was reaching the end of its tether anyway, so there's no point in worrying about it. What? You can dump your soil right there. Oh good, we've unlocked ship engines. Next tier. This should be very... Oops, hang on a minute. Engine upgrade, let's upgrade to the next one. Continue. Curious what it'll look like, because right now it's just 2 pipes and exhaust system. They should... I hope later on they let us upgrade this ship to a nuclear-powered vessel. Speaking of... okay, so let me just take us to start new research. Once fitted, the ship will be able to travel further. Okay, it doesn't actually say. But it would be nice if we could upgrade the ship to a nuclear power plant. That would be fun. And then we'd have to refine uranium fuel rods for fuel. And then you would like refill it. They could make it... I don't know. They could do it for a year thing here. So every... I'm not even sure. I think to make it realistic, maybe every year... Well, not to make it realistic, to make it practical, that it's actually an element of the game. So at the end of each year, you have to refill the ship's fuel rods. But technically, most modern ships, nuclear reactors are between 10 and 25 years between refill stops. Excuse me. Oh, thank goodness, we are recording. I didn't check when I depaused it after I went to look for the name of Ultimate Admirals, so I could tell you that I would like to try that game simply because I like battleships. I love battleships. If I have a choice in surface weapon, it's the battleship. I know in modern warfare today, it's until we can upgrade it properly, it's totally impractical. But it's still cool. Unfortunately, I haven't really looked into it. I like them the way they are. I like you sail this massive hunk of iron with these huge guns roaring. I like that aspect. I haven't really looked into it. I know we've got the Americans have the Missouri and a few other battleships that are museum pieces. And the Japanese have one as well, but it's concreted in, so that's not going anywhere. But that's about it that I've actually... I'd much rather play with it than look it up. So if I played World of Warships, I'll take a line that'll give me battleships. If I play any game that would let me use a battleship in it, I'll probably play with it. In Ultimate Admirals, you can design and build them, but I'll get to that when I can afford it. Right now, I can't afford it, so we'll just leave that be. Okay. Okay, we've got our waste treatment plant that is doing well, but it's gonna seize up in a minute. Okay. We'll just reverse the cheat system. It's really that simple. We put that there. We put our piping system. We temporarily freeze up all piping production. We will run this pipe in there. Sorry, we'll run this pipe in here. We'll run this pipe to here. And we'll run this pipe to here. Oh, come on, let go. And then we'll prioritize that one. And when that's overflown, then we'll do the rest. This will take CO2 production, and it will keep empty. And we will just do that. That way, once these tanks are full, this system can keep running until such time as I'm required to, I'm just going to turn this off because there's no reason to have the trucks imported. Later on, it will go straight to graphite refinement, and I think we were using graphite somewhere over here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, actually, what are we using graphite for? Okay, we can produce it. Okay, yeah, we're using it here to make molten silicon, which is right here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is silicon. So where is our graphite production? Is somewhere over here, is it not? No, it's not. Where is... Okay. This is coal. This is that. And where is the graphite coming from? Okay, here it is. It's on top. Ah, here we go. This is our graphite production, and it's chock-a-block. And then we're recycling sour water, which one factory is, to make ammonia and sulfur. Which seems to have stalled. Oh, there's not enough sour water coming into the system. That's because it's... Oh, it is going, it's just slow. Actually, no, where are we getting sour water from? No, that's just fresh water. Where is the sour water? Oh, it's coming from this production center, that's why. Yeah, I haven't done the math on this, so everything is overproducing or underproducing or not producing enough of. It's pretty normal. Okay. Okay, you're maxed out. So we drop the pause on you and we start maxing you out. And I think we have enough that we can at least bring one more research center online. Yay, we can speed up production. Oh, sorry, research. We can speed up research. Okay, how are we doing here? So far, we're at this stage where everything's going great. We don't need to produce a lot of things. We just need to get to the final stage of the game. We're basically nearing our end here. Probably one, maybe 2 more episodes, but that's just a random guess. I honestly don't know if we're not going to run into additional things, or maybe I want to fully explore the map. Have we upgraded the ship? No, we don't have micro circuit boards yet. Did I build it so the vehicles can get to them? Yes, they can. Is there enough? No. Why is there not enough? It's not because of plastic production. We have enough of these going. It's just slow, that's all. And we're making a boatload of servers, that's why. Primarily focused on supercomputer production. We could always bleed off a little, maybe? Into a small warehouse so that our units can get a hold of it if they need to. Oh, why is this still here? Must have been when I was flattening the ground. There, that should help bleed off a bit. I don't know if it'll automatically even out the amounts being transmitted. It might. It looks like it will. But this is just really going to go a little slowly because even with all these systems running flat out, it's just not producing enough. Plastic is fine, that's not a problem, it's just going to take a little time to build up the resources. But like I said, we're not in a rush, we're kind of starting to reach the end point of this playthrough, which I will add will be the first time I've actually played this game to the end. As I said, I tend to get bored at midway through. The main reason this is so entertaining is I'm actually doing it for YouTube. And hopefully you're getting my voice alright. I noticed, unfortunately I don't have an expensive setup here. I've just got a cheap little microphones, USB microphones, so I'm sorry if my voice seems to wave a bit. It's not the best thing for making these recordings, but this was mainly done for fun. And of course, my brother said it was a great way to be entertained and maybe in the future make money off. I honestly have no idea. I will play it by ear. I'm glad to see people are at least enjoying this series. I've got like 13 subscribers, which, considering I didn't think anyone would be interested in me, let alone 13 people plus a couple hundred views, I think that's amazing. Beyond amazing. Thank you very much for that. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm synonymous here with wasting food. I wish there was a more efficient way of doing it. The trucks are delivering it, but nuts. Let me guess. Full to bursting. Yeah. My people are starving, yet I've got too much food. It doesn't make any damn sense. So, I mean, look at this. Empty, 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 empty. What the hey? This is a total failure in logistics. Complete failure in logistics. I have more food than my people could possibly eat, and they're starving. It really doesn't make any damn sense. Okay, let's just leave the corn and this, because I mean 15 months. That's 3 months over a year worth of food stockpile. So a year and a bit, which is about right, but with canned goods and snacks, though the snacks aren't supposed to be a preserved food, but we've got preserved food here. I wish we could actually use this food pack as part of our thing, because it would be a nice way to utilize all of this, so that instead of supplying it piecemeal, we could supply the farms, could supply it all at once. Okay, let's see if we can streamline this a bit. Could I run multiple conveyor belts, say through here, underneath here, and directly into the storage buildings here? So, could I... Okay, eggs, that's not going to work because the eggs are all the way over there. But could I do the rest? Bread might be possible. Bread I could run this way around. Where is bread being supplied? Okay, it's being supplied to these two buildings. Is there a gap? Could I come across here? Let me just see here. Can I come across? No. Unfortunately, I need to build actual spacing between these buildings. Yeah, this setup isn't very good. Unfortunately, to dismantle the food supply, my people will start starving. I tried this once before, where I tried to dismantle it piecemeal, and all of a sudden they started starving because one building wasn't being supplied food, and it was a total disaster. So that's why I've left this alone and had made no attempts to fix this mess. Because it is a mess. It's 100% a mess. Wastewater is just being... yeah. Wastewater and waste supplies, but we'll keep the recyclable material, because that's not a problem. Yeah, unfortunately we're waiting on research. We are literally waiting on research. Should be able to bring one more system online. Let's see. Just barely. 2 teraflops over the requirement. How's our ship coming along here? Okay, that hasn't changed yet. Slowly. It is coming. It is coming slowly. Primarily because I am storing this. Okay, electronics level 2. Let's just go for it. Shipyard. No, I don't need that much. I'll check now. How much is the maximum? There's electronics level 2. Add product. How much is the maximum here? Okay, so we can add 10,000 of any product. That's nice. But we don't need that much. And it added it automatically to the warehouse, so that makes sense. I just want to see, if it wasn't for the fact it blocks the whole freaking screen. Okay, just before it hits 90, I want to see what changes this actually makes to this ship. That's it. They went from round to square. Okay, a little disappointing. I was kind of hoping the ship would get maybe a bit longer, because when you do upgrades, you're basically upgrading the whole engine bay, so you would make your ship... So if you put bigger engines in, you either have to sacrifice hull space, or you would upgrade total size of the ship. We'd cut this thing in half, we'd add a section, and make it a bit longer. Because that's how most ships, particularly thanks to the Liberty ships of World War II, when they had to build ships in a modular pattern, I guess? No, that's not the word. When they had to build them modularly, where they designed the rapid mass production of ships to be modular, that's also streamlined repairs and upgrades, because then instead of having to strip the whole top hull away, you just cut a ship in half if you want to make it longer. You shove a new module section in, and you weld it back together. Rerun the cables, and given that most modules on ships today are built literally with everything you need already installed, it's even easier. Okay, I'm going to slowly start getting this system online. Are these not built yet? Okay, yeah, they're not built yet, because I was saving. Let's see if we can build these. We can build these. We can build those. Okay, that's it. I thought I had finished construction and all this stuff. I had not. Which is a bit annoying. Oh good, our life support has gone up. Okay. Air pollution has gone up too. But I will admit these scrubber plants are doing the job. Okay, we also want to just set that up here as well, don't we? No. What are we using sulfur for? Because I know we're using it for something. Sour water stripper is a... Okay, these produce it. Okay. We're using it... We can use it for rubber production. Should I do that? Ethanol. Diesel's easy. Plus sulfur equals rubber. Because I know I'm using the old production method for rubber production in this area. And I mean, we've got sulfur right here. We're supposed to produce here, but that's full. Here it is. This is our rubber production, which is full. And we're using diesel plus coal. And it produces waste, where the other way doesn't produce any waste at all. But I'm not going to cheat that diesel tank, because I would love to drain the diesel storage. I think we've got... Are we overchopped on diesel? Yes. This is full of diesel. This is empty. So they're taking it from here. But this is my direct line diesel feed system. The rest is just... Yeah, because this is the original diesel plants that are producing crude oil plus coal equals diesel, wastewater, and exhaust. Unfortunately... Okay, these pipes are capable of using exhaust, but these are fixed pipes. Is there anything else here where there's an actual exhaust pipe? No, there is not. So I could stockpile the exhaust, but it doesn't make much sense. Okay, hang on a minute. This is going to release 10 pollution. Now there was something, burner? Or is that just, oh, come on. Okay, that doesn't burn. Okay, and that just scrubs it and still releases carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. The pollution level is less, but it's not away, and if I burn the carbon dioxide, I can't. I can pump it underground, which is over there. Okay, there's no practical solution. This, unfortunately, is a waste product I can't clean up. Everything else I'm doing, I'm cleaning, I'm producing, so that's not a problem. Okay, we're running low on groundwater again. But are we linked to the cheat system? We should be here. But is this linked to the entire system, or is it just linked to one section? No, it's linked to the entire system, so it doesn't matter if we run out of groundwater. The system will still supply us plenty of water, even if these tanks run flat. So for now, I'm just going to ignore this. I know I can just cheat it in and we can have groundwater again, but for now I'm just going to ignore it. Alright. We were looking at rubber production to get rid of excess and fuel that we can get rid of excess material. Okay. Oh, come on. Yeah, it's gonna be a bit ridiculous. Okay, hang on. Build it here, and then we can also build our scrubbing system here. So, we want to make rubber. Rubber is a crude refining process, because that makes basic distillation. Here's the rubber plant. We'll build some waste tanks here, and it'll produce. This particular formula yellow won't produce any waste, so that's cool. This, oh no, wrong one, right one. This will just produce rubber, and we can feed that rubber. While the trucks will have can pick it up. I just want to use up the resource. That's it. It's not important. It's not needed. We don't actually need to produce more rubber. I just want to use up the resource. That is all this will do. Come on. The reason I want to use up this resource to an extent is simply to keep the carbon refining system going. So that once we start turning it into graphite, and start feeding that graphite into another system, this is the slight hiccup I'm running into. I can make useful products with the material, I just can't make enough useful products with the material. This, in order to keep all our smelting and refining operations going, I need to keep this going in order to keep the pollution down. But I can't, as of yet, even when I'm turning this into graphite, I have no use for the product. I can't trade it as far as I know. I don't think there's any places here that will take graphite, or any places I've located yet. Sorry, that's not a place. Okay, this will trade for wood, but this is a normal trade. It's not a it's not one of these, not an established trade contract. It's just a quick trade. But as far as I know, there's no place. Yes, I think either a cheat mod or I'd like them added to the game is if they can create, say, a settlement hub point. Say there would be a small island somewhere near you, and that would be a hub point where all the other islands will trade with that hub point, and you can sell anything. And then you could set up permanent contracts to sell products. Oh dear. I've made a slight oopsie. Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, I think that would be quite nice if they could consider maybe adding that to the game, or if a mod is created. I'm sorry, I don't know how to make mods, so I've also never tried to make a mod. But it would be quite nice to have a location where you could permanently trade all the various resources you have. That way, we don't have to worry about overstocking of resources. So if you say, in this case, I'm going to make way too much graphite, I could then set up a trade contract to get rid of it. Or if I'm manufacturing too much of another resource I'm not manufacturing that resource, like here, I'm not going to manufacture the graphite because I need graphite. I'm going to manufacture. Okay, what's going on here? Oh, it's that pipe. Okay, sorry. I'm not going to manufacture the graphite because I need it. I'm going to manufacture the graphite to use up the waste pollution, because I don't actually have a spot I can inject it into. Because in order to inject this, I have to run a whole flickin' pipeline all the way over here, or all the frickin' way over there, because here's the other limestone deposit, and that's just way, way too far. Oh, and we do have another coal deposit here that I could mine and may set up a mine later, but right now, not so much. These don't even produce exhaust, which is really weird. Because if anyone will tell you, the rubber industry is one of the, if not the most pollutive industries we have. Because we make synthetic rubber, we make natural rubber. Natural rubber isn't too bad, but yeah. Oil-based rubber products are also very pollutive. Yet none of these buildings produce pollution. So, that's new. Now, as I said, I'm purely doing this to use up this buildup of sulfur. No other reason. It's probably not even going to be enough. I'm probably going to have to build a delete system in this somewhere just to get rid of excess product, just to keep everything else going. Or this will stockpile, and this will stockpile, and all of this will back up. Yeah, from here, it looks real nice, all this lovely production, but you get nice and close and you see how it's actually working and you realize this guy doesn't have a freaking clue what he's doing. So yeah, there's that. We can add more service. Let's add the service quick. We can get the research up and running. Okay, let's just finish these. Hopefully we have enough now. Okay, my production of this sucks. Ah, but we have plenty of spare servers. We have plenty of spare servers. So instead of getting another research station online, let's get this online. Okay, and this one? Okay, we have enough, but it pushes us right to the limit. But we still have just gotten 20 more servers, so we can get them back online. Well, we've got 20 complex computers that can be integrated into a basic server rack. It says basic rack here. I wonder if they'll let us build, I don't know, an advanced computer rack later on. Maybe while this one will produce 1 teraflop worth of processing, they'll let us say experimental quantum computer plant, and it'll produce 10 teraflops of processing capability or something like that. And then we can expand and expand. Unfortunately, as I said, I don't know I'm not quite sure how they want to carry this game, because from my perspective here, it's just about a complete game, which is quite nice. The same thing the developers did when they released the early access for Dyson Sphere program. Even though it was in early access, it was still basically a complete game. I do really like that when game designers do that. I'm not a fan of when they release, say it's in early access and it's like 5% complete, and they expect you to be impressed with this. I understand early access gives you a taste of what they're trying to do, but really, if you're going to release a game and you expect people to pay for it, release something that they're actually going to play through. I can also understand early access is a platform where if you're a single person game designer or a small team, you can release an early access game and people can look at this and say, okay, yes, I like what you're doing here, I'll pay for it, in the hopes that later on you'll give me a really nice game to play. It's just, I was always very annoyed, especially when they had that it was like, what, 5 years ago, when early access was less of an experimental platform to give people an idea of what you're doing and more of an excuse to release incomplete games. I mean, one of the best examples of that was with the No Man's Sky series, which I purchased basically when it came out. I purchased it. I thought, okay, it looks great, and it wasn't anywhere near the completed level the game developers want. But they have made a total comeback with No Man's Sky. Those guys really pulled it off. I mean, it is a brilliant, brilliant game now, compared to where it was. And the fact that they did all of that without asking additional payment. We didn't have to pay for DLCs or any of their add-ons. They just gave it to us. It's like, brilliant. It's just, once again, I don't have the staying power. Once you've unlocked a ship and built a base and explored a few systems, I mean, in one playthrough, I never even left the basic system. I just wandered around searching for ships of interest and points of interest. The game is so big and so vast. For a single player, it's just, I just never got around to getting anywhere with it, I'm afraid. Eventually, it just merged into the same stuff over and over again, and I was just not interested. Other than that, this one, because I'm making it as a YouTuber, it's been very interesting, and I'm very glad this was one of the second series I picked. Unfortunately, I was running Ark Survival Evolved, but for whatever reason of late, my computer hates that game. And it's not even the mods I've added, because I've got like 5 mods, Steam Workshop mods on it. For whatever reason, my computer just doesn't want to play it, which sucks, because it's a really nice game. Yes, it is very much a multiplayer game, but it's still a very nice game. Oh, we've got all the resources we need for this. Because they're all basic resources, which makes sense. Now we go for 4 quad gun turrets. I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly. Probably not. Because it's not a triple gun turret, it's a... no, I'm getting this wrong. I know there is a very specific way you're supposed to say this, and I'm probably getting it wrong. Because this is a 4 triple gun turret. I think that is the correct way you pronounce this. It is technically correct, but I know in military, when you're describing battleship guns, there's a specific way you're supposed to say it, and I've completely forgotten it. It's not... I can't remember if it's something to do with... You're supposed to say it's a triple 18-inch gun turret in quad format, or something along that line. I don't remember. I know I watched a documentary a long time ago where they were the gentleman on that was very specific about how you properly describe guns and the mounted guns on battleships and destroyers and cruisers and stuff. I've just forgotten it. I've probably, maybe I even said it correctly and I've just forgotten it. Is that it? We get 8 more vehicles for this research. Really? Oh, it increases limit by 10. It's just number 8 in the queue. Plus 8 more, okay. Yeah, 10 vehicles more. I'm not sure if that's going to make a big difference, but it might. Anyway, I just want to see how this research, because we should have most of it. Yeah, we do. Okay, let's see what we get. Is it just going to plop the guns on and add an extra barrel? Oh, okay, it's just going to plop the guns on and add an extra barrel. And add a pair of side mounts, too. That's nice. I'm assuming these are 18-inch guns because that is it. Mind you, if you're doing 4 guns, they may actually be smaller. And then a pair of 25s? 90 millimeters? Probably 90 millimeters? Okay, we were fighting here and it's a short battle, and this is the same heavy level, so... Oh, right. Right, sorry. Go kick their butts. That's the same guys I lost here, but this is also 990, so let's see if this ship can actually engage that. And I think we're, sorry, I just want to check the time here. Yeah, we're pretty much done. So for the next episode, we'll get to watch our new warships upgrades work. Till then, I hope everybody has had a great time with this video, and I hope you have a wonderful day. This is Gareth from Whatchamacallit Gaming, out!